Our next activity from your activity kit that we're going to do today is the cork boat activity. Now, you'll need some water. Well, only if you want to float your boat, but I think you probably will. You won't need very much. So, let's open up the bag and see what we have inside. Okay, so you should have in your bag some instructions, a little half sheet of paper to tell you how to do this. Okay. You should also have 3 corks, 1, 2, 3, and 2 elastic bands or rubber bands, a toothpick, a wooden skewer, and be real careful because the toothpick and the skewer still have their sharp ends, and a foam sail. Now yours might be white, it might be blue, it might be red. It doesn't really matter. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is place our corks side by side like you're making a raft. And then you're going to use the rubber bands or the elastic bands. Ooh, very carefully. This may be tricky and you may need a little help from your parents or an adult. But I'm going to hold these in my hand like so, and then I'm going to carefully wrap that rubber band around one side. Now, they're still kind of wanting to pop free, so hang on to them. And then you're going to put the rubber band on the other side. Okay, so now you should have what looks like a raft. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use this toothpick like a little bit of a drill. We're going to make a starter hole. Now, if you were a boat and you were going to have a sail, where would it go? Ours is going to go in the middle. So I want you to take the middle of the middle cork and you're going to drill just a little bit of a hole using the toothpick. You might have to apply some pressure, maybe twist it just a little bit, but it's just to get that started. Because next, we'll use the skewer. Now, this is going to be our mast. So take your skewer with the pointy end down and put that right in that hole, and you want to gently twist until it's in there pretty good. Apply a little pressure and twist a little bit. You don't want it to come out the other side, but you do want it to be in there firmly. Okay, just like that. Now, we have our boat, we have our mast. Now, take your toothpick and take your sail, and you're going to do a hole at the top of the sail in the middle and at the bottom of the sail in the middle. And this should push through fairly easily. So again, just push your toothpick through there to create a little hole, and then one down at the bottom, leaving probably about 1/4 to 1/2 inch away from the edge, because you don't want it to split and tear. Now, carefully put the bottom hole onto your skewer, and then thread the top hole onto your skewer. We'll mind twirl a little bit, but that's okay, it will still work. Okay, so this is our boat. Now, like we said before, this is probably not what a boat looked like when it was coming up the White River or even on Polk Bayou in the 1800s. You would have seen boats more similar to what we have here. So here we have a flat boat, and over here behind me we have a keel boat. Before we talk about those anymore, let's see if our boat floats. Got just a little bit of water here. And look at that, it sure does. Here you can see a model of a flatboat. Now, flatboats were important for frontier families because they could move a lot of cargo and people. They were large boats. They varied in size from 20 to 60 feet long, and they could be from 10 to 20 feet wide. You'll notice the rudder oar in the stern that steers the boat as it moves forward, and on each side is a sweep oar for maneuvering. Now, they had a roof on there to protect the family and its cargo. You can even see in this model they're carrying livestock. And so once the pioneer family got to their land, they would then disassemble the boat and use it to help build their home. This is an example of a keelboat. Keelboats were large, heavy boats, and they had rounded bottoms rather than the flat bottoms. These boats were also large. They ranged in size from 40 to 75 feet long and from 8 to 12 feet wide. They were good for carrying cargo. You might notice an oar in the back to guide the boat, and it had poles for actually pulling the boat forward along with a rope. Here we have an example of a steamboat. Now, steamboats were propelled by steam and had paddle wheels mounted on the back or the side designed to carry large loads on the rivers and lakes. Steamboats used cordwood as their primary fuel. You can see on here the pilot house where the pilot steered the boat. You can see the paddle wheel that propelled the boat forward, and you can see the smokestacks where the smoke rose from the wood-burning furnaces. These were long boats from 40 to 300 feet and 10 to 80 feet in width. They were a favorite of travelers to the area. The Waverly was the first steamboat to arrive in Batesville on January 4th, 1831, and they had a good run until the railroads put them out of business. So I hope you have enjoyed this boat activity and learning a little bit about the early boats in Independence County.